Well, welcome back to my boat restoration project. The last episode I was removing the foam from the inside of the boat and pretty much got that cleaned out now. And during the process I discovered that there's a leak in the bottom of the boat up under the live well where a drain was put in. So I've got to pull the live well out and get that sealed up, and need to do that before I can do an actual leak test on the boat, because that leak was pretty severe. So anyway, let me show you what pulling the live well out is going to look like. Alright, so this live well has a drain that's installed in the corner of it there, and that drain goes all the way through the bottom of the boat, and it's leaking. So I need to pull the drain out, and then I'll probably have to pull this whole live well out to try and seal it, because you can see the live well does not actually sit on the bottom of the boat. So there has to be a seal between the boat and the plug or the drain, and then the drain in the bottom of the live well. So I can't see how that was all done up under there without taking it all out. So we're gonna try and get that drain removed, and then we're gonna remove this row of rivets here that's holding the live well to the ribs in the front and the back, and see if we can get this whole unit to come out and assess how we want to try and reseal it. It looks like you can see the bottom of the hull here, and then the bottom of the live well just above it. And it doesn't look like they have anything in between those two to seal there. So we're going to have to try and address that. I don't think I really like that setup. So let's see if we can get this live well out and come up with a better solution. Alright, so now that the drain plug's out, I'm going to go ahead and grind the rivets off on the inside. Alright, so now that I've got the heads of the rivets ground off, I'm just going to take a punch and knock the body of the rivet back a little bit. And then once I do that, that whole box should be able to lift just straight up out of there. So let me knock the rivets out and then see if we can get it out. Alright, so you can see this is a hole that they drilled in the bottom of the boat to put the live well in, and there's no sealant around that, and then there's no sealant on the bottom of the live well. Now where that drain is, the live well does taper down, so those two probably were touching. If you put any kind of force between them, they would clamp together, but the seal that they had used had failed, so we had a pretty major leak between where these two joined. So to fix it, that needed to come out. Alright, so the live well's out now. I want to go ahead and clean this area of the boat up real good while I've got access to it. And I'm kind of thinking about maybe pulling this front bench out and relocating the live well to this area with a lid on it, and then just behind that having a deck here with a pedestal seat for casting. That would open up my floor space here a little bit, and if I decide to, I would actually have the room then to go ahead and put lockers down the side to store your rods and oars and stuff like that in. So that's something I'm going to give some contemplation to, but for right now we're just going to go ahead and work on cleaning up the bottom of the boat. And then back here in the back, since the last episode, I went ahead and removed the wood out of the transom. The wood's in pretty good shape, and I'll probably go ahead and reuse it, but there's some damage to the metal. You can see here these holes have started to corrode out, and I think they need to be reinforced. So whenever the brazing rods come in, we're gonna fix that and see if we can't make this back a little better, reinforce it, and clean it up real good before we put the wood back in. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start working on cleaning the bottom of the boat and this back transom out now. And once the bottom's clean and the transom's clean, I think that pretty much does it as far as stripping the boat down. And then once I decide how I'm going to reconfigure the inside, I'll know whether I want to take this rear bench out. I may take the rear bench out and make kind of a U-shaped compartment with some flotation cells in it, and a nice neat area to put my gas tank and bilge pump. But I'm not real sure yet, so I'm not taking any of the benches out just yet. I'm just considering that. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and clean everything up. So this is what it looks like. We've gotten the live well out and the bottom all cleaned up from that. Pretty much all the foam is out of the bottom. I do need to still come back with the paint stripper at the very bottom and remove all the old layers of paint out of it. Our rear bench is cleaned up now, pretty much down to the bare metal. There's still a little bit of paint on it. I'll go back over it one more time. And the transom here is cleaned up a good bit. So now that all the paint and foam and everything else is out, I'm just waiting for my brazing rods to come in so that I can fix the ribs that are cracked and address a couple spots here on the transom and the ribs on the side. And then once that's done, I can seal the hole up in the bottom there and test it for leaks. So y'all keep checking back.